Welcome back. Welcome to Millennia. For I am your host, the Millennium Mailman. Be ye entity of any of one of the coils, man, woman, child, spirit, creature, demon. Be ye a native migrator or even an invader into the land. You are welcome, and I'll be world building for you long after you've already begun to acclimate and fit in. So go ahead, sit back, relax, and enjoy this story time Saturday. Just as I mentioned last week, or earlier in the playlist, wherever you're coming to find this will probably be like a 4 to 5 part series for this particular story time, because this is a story time being shared from an 11-year-old that was written down and given to their parents on why they are acting up, acting out, and considered rebellious to their Christian parents, right? This is that child's story being story time shared by me today on this Storytime Saturday. So, sit back, relax, and I'll get started. Mr. Deaf. I am a watcher, an analyzer. I don't speak because somewhere far back someone called me, quote, foolishly ignorant, end quote, and proceeded to say that they don't believe I should talk without certainty and should stay shut up until I thought about it a good number of times more. I don't know how old I was, to be honest, but I remember my thoughts telling me that fool equals clown and ignorant equals idiot. So I shut up, and somewhere on the verge of stopping that, mommy said the phrase too. Quote, think again, and if you have to, do it one more time before you do anything. End quote. So when words from one person are shared by others who talk to me, those are what I have called signs from God telling me to be wise and to listen. So when I hear you and mommy and everyone say I never had a normal speech pattern, or more than 2 or 3 words, phrases, just full out sentences of random incoherence, this is my thoughts on why. The letter being his thoughts on why, I guess. It is because I was a watcher back then, because all I had to go on. I would never claim selective listening, as I would be prone to claiming selective memory, because I would never say I have literal or serious hearing issues, just that my trappings of thought, be they repetitive or not, set a plan and pattern of not sticking to them. Because somewhere in there I told myself no. I'm gonna try rereading that and changing a word or two. I would never claim so he would never necessarily say he has selective hearing, but he would say that he may or may not have selective memory, because he wishes to not have experienced or remember certain things, I guess. Because his repetitive thoughts set a precedence of doing things and things he plans to do but never ends up actually doing them. And yes, that's probably it. And the next sentence is why exactly he never ends up doing it. Okay. I was a watcher back then, It was really dumb.
Sorry.
You're ridiculous. I was a watcher back then because that's all I had to go on. I would never claim to have selective listening, as I would be prone to, as more so that he would claim to be prone to selective memory, because would never say I have any like hearing issues, but more so he would have issues of setting plans and not actually following through with them, because somewhere in his mind he tells himself no. No, you don't think that. But with my overthinking creativity, whatever I was planning to do was probably stupid. Continuing on. I have always been an analyzer, noting my own what's right or what's wrong. Because when working on performing actions, I've never been correct. For especially when I do as I'm told from you or mommy, no matter what I do, I will never be good enough. F your opinions. I have not been an attention seeker. I've never cared for it as much as I wanted to be actually right for doing something. Not once have I ever been right. Nothing I have done has been good enough for anyone or for any more than one. If I listen to mom, dad says this or that. Listen to dad, and this one or that one has particular criticisms to input that make the things I did 97% wrong. And that is 97% of the time the outcome for what I do. If I participate in Pentecostal church with those kingdom mindsets and attempt to speak or apply basic knowledge where, quote, your doctrine isn't God's doctrine and your mother is wrong too, end quote. As if I do, I get told my will and what I'm doing is not the will of the Lord who wanted me to do. So if I'm doing it because mom told me to, she's wrong. How nice. F all your opinions. Okay, it seems like he is now shifting from having his experience and now talking to Mr. Def, or talking about. So, Mr. Def, F all your opinions. If you really wish me to take a stand for the Lord, F all your opinions, because no matter how much you back up your opinions, calling them backed by evidence in the Word, it's all confirmation bias. I don't and have never fully had a hate for you. He put a line through that entire sentence and says lies with an exclamation mark. Oh yeah, this was my favorite part, hearing the story the first time. His next phrase. I don't and have never fully had a hate for you. Lies, exclamation mark. All caps. More than a motherfucker on crack. I can't even read fast. More than a motherfucker on crack. He does have hate. No, I have had a series of hate beliefs in you for every sense of the word. He has hate. I have no doubt that in your absence another would be called to take your place, so I'd still be fine without you. Parentheses, probably better off in my opinion, because my only quarrel with you presently is your teaching. And closing parenthesis. Next sentence. So I have hated you, but my personality in and of itself refuses to permit me to remain mad at someone longer than I can go, confiding in my thoughts, be it in prayer, be it in writing, or open conversation, wherein I hear you, quote, you should shut up and think again before you speak, end quote, all too frequently. It's a bit of a round sentence here. So I have hated you, but my personality in and of itself refuses to permit me to remain mad at someone longer than I can go without confiding in my thoughts, be it in prayer, writing, open conversation, wherein I hear, you should shut up and think again before you speak, all too frequently. Why? Because I am no one's attention seeker. No one's opinion means a darn to me as much as yours and mommy's and other blood relatives. So I like to think that thinking negative and thinking again sound and feel as competent and as capable as I perceive you all to be. Ignoring the hesitation and slowness to at least be found right by you because I am thinking and thinking again. You who has never been satisfied by a ne'er darn thing I've ever done. So for my sake, F you and F your poop way of thinking things, because I'm wrong and haven't ever been right. Yeah. Got a page and a half in. And that's a page and a half of the 8 pages to this story time. I'll cut it there for today. Look forward to next story time Saturday when I continue. But go ahead, put down in that comment section down below questions, comments, concerns, and other thoughts and stuff you have to get the discussion going. What I've read off was just that first page and a half of that 8-page thing between the father and the son and the child to their parents. Don't like the video, but instead put comments down in that comment section down below, and let's get the discussion going. Peace.